Welcome back, everyone. This is part 4 for the explanation of the chapter The Kite Maker, which is a short story written by Ruskin Bond. In part 1, 2, and 3, we have already read about the characters, which are Ali and grandson. In the earlier parts, we have already read about the introduction, the theme of the story, the characters, and we read about what was given on page number 68 and 69, where this little boy's kite was stuck on this banyan tree and how grandfather gives him a new kite. And then moving on to the next page, the grandfather then talks about the older days when kite flying was a royal activity, a noble pastime. Okay, and even the Nawab was involved in this sport of kite flying. But then he remembers that now children and adults do not have time for this activity. He could no more make a living out of this art. And then he also talks about the special kite that he had made for the Nawab, which was a very big kite, okay? And that kite required a great skill to be handled, and that could only be done by Mahmood. Okay, let's move on to the next page. Let's see what happens when he had made that beautiful kite, as you can see in the picture, right? As you can see here, this huge and magnificent kite which he had made. Let's see what happens when it takes its first flight. Okay. Everyone had heard of the dragon kite that Mahmood had built, and word went round that it possessed supernatural powers. So everyone had come to know about this dragon kite. They were calling this kite as dragon kite that Mahmood had built, and word went round. That means all the people started talking about it with a story. And what was that story? That it possessed supernatural powers, that it had some magical powers. Okay. If you go and Google dragon kite, you will see how Chinese dragon kites are there. Okay, and you will find that it has the same shape. That is why they were calling it dragon kite. There are lots and lots of shapes in which kites are made. Kite flying is really an important sport in a lot of countries. Okay, so dragon kite was the name given to this one, and people started talking about it, saying that it had some magical powers. A large crowd assembled in the open to watch its first public launching in the presence of the Nawab. There was a huge crowd, that means a lot of people gathered in the open area, as you can see here in the field. So a lot of people gathered in this open area to see the first flight in the presence of Nawab. So see this kite flying for the first time in the open sky, where Nawab was also present. Okay. At the first attempt, that means at the first try, it refused to leave the ground. That means it did not move at all because it was so heavy. The disc that made a plaintive protesting sound, and the sun was trapped in the little mirrors, making the kite a living, complaining creature. And the disc, that means the bamboo sticks which were used to make this kite, the basic structure, had become sad. That means it was looking sad. It felt like the kite did not want to go into the sky. The mirrors on the kite, which were the eyes of the kite, they were reflecting the sun rays. That is why it's written the sun was trapped in the little mirrors. Okay. And it felt as if the kite is a living creature and it's a complaining creature. It is complaining that it has been tied. Then the wind came from the right direction, and the dragon kite soared into the sky, wriggling its way higher and higher, the sun still glinting in its devil eyes. And then the wind comes from the right direction. Okay, जब तक सही हवा नहीं आएगी तब तक kite ऊपर नहीं जाती है ना sky में. So then the wind came from the right direction, and the dragon kite soared into the sky. I hope you can imagine this. जैसे ही kite ऊपर जाती है, कैसे एकदम से flight लेती है kite. So it happened the same way. The dragon kite soared into the sky. That means it took a high flight into the sky. It went higher in the sky, wriggling its way higher and higher. How does a kite go into the air higher and higher? It twists and turns, right? Twist and turn होती है ना kite when it goes high up into the sky. So that is what was happening with this one also. The sun still glinting in its devil eyes. and the sun was still being reflected by its shining eyes, and those eyes are called here as devil eyes. Why devil? Because the kite was named as dragon kite. So dragon is a fierce animal, it's a fierce creature, it's a wild creature. That is why its eyes are called devil eyes. And when it went very high, it pulled fiercely on the twine, and Mahmud's young sons had to help him with the reel. And when it was really high into the sky, it pulled fiercely on the twine. That means there was a lot of force which was acting upon the kite, and the thread with which it was tied, it was stretching. A lot of pressure was there. And Mahmud's sons had to help him with the reel. And Mahmud's sons, as you can see here in the picture, they had to come and help Mahmud. Still, the kite pulled, determined to be free, to break loose, to live a life of its own. So, though these children were helping Mahmud to handle the kite, but it was still pulling on the twine. That means जो धागा था वो खिंच रहा था बहुत ज़्यादा, as if the twine will break. Okay. And when this twine was pulling upon the kite, it felt as if it was determined to be free. It wanted to be free. It looked as if the kite wanted to fly into the sky without any limit, without being held from anywhere. It wanted to be free. It wanted its freedom and liberty. And eventually it did so. And after a time, it happened. The twine broke. The twine snapped. The kite leaped away towards the sun, sailing on heavenward until it was lost to view. So the twine snapped. That means the thread to which as you can see here, the twine, this is the twine, the thread. Okay, so the thread snapped, that means it broke, and the kite leaped away towards the sun. That means it looked as if the kite has taken a high jump toward the sun. Sailing on heavenward, that means it was sailing, it was gliding into the sky towards the heaven, towards a higher sky, until it was lost to view. And it kept on flying until nobody could see it. That means after a point of time, nobody knew where the kite had gone, where it flew away. It was never found again. Nobody could find the kite ever again. And Mahmud wondered afterwards if he made too vivid, too living a thing of the great kite. And then afterwards, Mahmud started wondering. That means Mahmud started thinking to himself, अपने आप से जब हम बात करते हैं, so Mahmud started wondering that did he make a vivid and a living creature out of this kite? He was wondering that this kite was flying into the sky as if it is a living creature. Vivid means realistic, real to life. It was looking like a real creature, a real dragon which wanted to be free of the hold. And it did so. As soon as it had the right direction, as soon as it had the right amount of wind, it snapped on the twine and it was free to live a life of its own. So Mahmud started wondering that did he make a kite which was so real that it behaved like a living creature? It really wanted to live a life of its own into the unknown. It flew away into the sky. He did not make another like it. But he did not make another kite like that. Instead, he presented to the Nawab a musical kite, one that made a sound like a violin when it rose in the air. So instead of making the same kite again, he presented Nawab with a musical kite, because Nawab was not able to fly this kite, because when Mahmud was only trying it, it flew away somewhere into the sky, into the unknown. So he was not able to fly that special kite. So for Nawab, he specially made a musical kite which made a sound like a violin when it rose into the air. Okay. Those were more leisurely, more spacious days. Again, he is recalling the older days where he says that at that time, in the older times, people had much more time for themselves. They were able to devote time to things which they liked. वो अपने लिए time निकालते थे. But now, people are really busy. But the Nawab had died years ago, and his descendants were almost as poor as Mahmud himself. He says, but Nawab had died years ago, and his descendants, that means the later generations who are related to someone. So the later generations, that means Nawab's children, then the children's children. So the descendants were almost as poor as Mahmud himself. That means they were not as rich as the Nawab was. So the later generations, his sons and then their sons, they were not rich. They were as poor as Mahmud himself, so they were not able to contribute to this art of kite flying as the Nawab did. Kite makers, like poets, once had their patrons. That means there were people earlier who used to support art of kite flying. Like the art of writing was supported earlier. Likewise, the art of kite flying was also supported by people. People used to come forward to help them. But no one knew Mahmud simply because there were too many people in the gully and they could not be bothered with their neighbors. But now the situation was different. Okay, Mahmud was not known by a lot of people now. Why? Because there were a lot of people who lived in that gully now, and now people didn't have any time to look after their neighbors because a lot of people lived in that gully, and now people had simply forgotten about him. They did not care about him. Bothered means to care about each other. They did not have any time. So, are you able to realize that how time has changed? Earlier, people had time for each other. They used to sit together and ask about each other's days and problems. They used to discuss about each other's lives, what was going on. But now, people were simply not bothered about their neighbors. They were too busy in their own life. When Mahmud was younger and had fallen sick, everyone in the neighborhood had come to ask after his health. He remembers much older days now when he was a young boy and he had fallen sick, he had become ill, and everyone around their house, the neighbors, had come to ask after his health. That means to ask how he was. But now, when his days were drawing to a close, no one visited him. But now the times have changed. Now, when his days were drawing to a close means that means his life was coming to an end now. He was becoming old. There were not many people who visited him. Most of his old friends were dead and his sons had grown up. And the friends which he had, most of them were dead, and the sons had grown up. Mahmud's sons had grown up. So one of them was working in a local garage and the other one was in Pakistan at the time of partition, and he had not been able to join the relatives. So in 1947 there was partition of India. The British India was partitioned between India and Pakistan, and it was a great strife. It was a time of great strife and turmoil. That means a lot of confusion was there, a lot of movement was there, a lot of anger and agitation was there between people, and thousands of people were left homeless and had to relocate. That means due to the partition, because the country was divided into two parts, a lot of people had to relocate. They had to decide whether they want to live in the part which is called India or the other part which will be called Pakistan. They had to decide that. The children who had bought kites from him 10 years ago were now grown men. And he thinks about all the children he used to come to him to buy those beautiful kites which he made. But now, those were grown men. They were adults, and as he had mentioned earlier, adults disdained the kites. That means they did not like the kites. And these men were struggling for a living. That means they were living a hard life. It was very hard for them to earn money to survive. They did not have time for the old man and his memories. And these grown men, these children who were now adults, they did not have any time for this old man. They did not have any time to visit this old man and talk about those beautiful memories, to cherish those old and beautiful memories. So the bottom line is that he's trying to say that times have changed a lot now. People are busy in their own lives, they are struggling in their own lives, and they do not have time for those artisans with whom they have lived their whole childhood. They don't have time for that. So I hope this page is clear to everyone. And if you have any doubts, you can definitely drop your doubts in the comment box.